The NFL head of officiating, Dean Blandino, says players will be penalized for dunking the football over the goalpost post-touchdown. Wow, this is really stupid.
I agree. I think that if you make a touchdown, you should be able to celebrate any way you want without getting penalized for it.
I think it just goes back to what's wrong with the NFL today. I think the NFL has a problem with trying to be too serious. I understand that the Shield is a brand, the NFL Shield is a brand, but at the same time, there's some things that they're taking out that's kind of, I wouldn't say diminishing, but making the NFL look more like almost like the NCAA. There's too many rules put in that shouldn't be in the NFL. NCAA and NFL are way two different things. They shouldn't even be compared. And right now it seems to be like it is compared. Like I was reading something the other day that showed that the NCAA feels that the NFL should stop taunting, should break down on taunting. I think that's ridiculous. I think it goes to show that I just don't think NCAA and NFL should ever be compared. You should never be getting information from NCAA about how to make your brand better. It just shouldn't happen, and this is just another one of those things.
There's a list of stuff they could be worrying about, and this is basically at the very bottom of the list. There's so many other things that they could be concerned with, and they want to go for the easiest thing that they can do, and that's making it harder for players to actually enjoy themselves while playing the sport they're getting paid to play.
Well, not only that, I feel like it hasn't really been a reason to stop it. I think this year it was one huge thing that kind of, I think that gave them the reason to do it, and I think it was from when Jimmy Graham, I can't remember what week it was, but he broke the goalpost in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the main reasons why they did it, but that's just one instance. Some people, Tony Gonzalez is who made dunking on the goalpost famous. And good thing he is retiring. He retired and he's done with it, because it was something that Tony G started and everybody started doing just out of respect of Tony G. And it's a lot of, and not only that, Tony G was a basketball player, and so was Jimmy Graham, so was Antonio Gates. They were once basketball players, and that's what that originated from. So I don't think you should, penalize people for that.
Tony Gonzalez actually tweeted, "The NFL says no dunking over the goalpost. This is one I don't understand. Looks like I got out just in time."
I think it boils down to sportsmanship, I think the NFL is trying to get those younger players who play football to calm down, and basically the NFL players are like idols for some children, and when children are playing football, they can get a little bit rowdy and noisy and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the main reasons why the NFL is doing it. But I still don't think that justifies it by any means.
I personally believe it's more, I kind of agree with Mike. I think it's more things to go over in the NFL than cracking down on some of the smallest goalposts. I still have some questions about the playoffs, expanding playoffs. I still have questions about these. I'm still confused on the helmet-to-helmet rule. I'm still confused on that hitting the quarterback rules. There's still some rules out there that the NFL needs to do some work on, and I feel like they're trying to run away from that and get to these little smaller things that don't really matter.
What it boils down to is these are people that when they were little kids, they wanted to be these NFL players. They wanted to grow up and play football. And when you score a touchdown, that is a big deal. Like when David Bass from this school scored his first touchdown, you're going to try and tell me that he's not going to be allowed to celebrate that? Or when Mike Hill gets wherever he's going to go in the NFL and he scores his first touchdown, there's no reason that these players shouldn't be allowed to do whatever they want to do. I understand excessively celebrating for long periods of time, but let them do a dance, let them dunk the ball over the goalpost, let them do what they want. It's a big deal. The more rules you add, the less fun the game gets. The thing that I always remember is that some players, they're known for doing one very specific dance, and that kind of becomes their image. And it's like Tony Gonzalez with dunking the goalpost. It's just they all will. I like the players that have the one little celebration dance that they'll do. There's one player that'll do a little salsa dance, or one that likes to, I don't even slide on his knees.
DJ David Bass, graduate from Missouri Western, he did the famous, what was it, salt in the hand, and threw the football up. I thought that was excellent. Especially, and he never know, you never know it. He might not ever get into the end zone ever again. That's not something that's normal for a defensive lineman at all. like to get into the touchdown, to get into the end zone. That's just not normal. So, like, if for people like him, I understood what he was coming from. I could feel like the passion, I can feel like the excitement that he had, because that could never happen to him ever again. And that's why I fear if the NFL continues to take away things when it comes to celebrations, I think you're just going to some players might just start losing the passion. I don't think that I can't say that for everyone, but I know that as a football player, if you lose passion for the sport, then there's not too much more you can do. You're not going to stay in the sport for too much longer. That's just how it goes.
Basically, the NFL is the no more fun league.
Basically.